Okay, so now what we're going to do is work with translated ellipses. I try and go ahead and figure out how to do this based on the previous videos, labeling the center, vertices, and foci. It doesn't say vertices in here, but you need to label those. So we're going to go ahead and get all the information that we need, and then we're going to go ahead and zoom in on the graph and graph everything. So real quick, we need to identify whether it's a vertical or a horizontal major axis. This guy is bigger than this guy. So we know that this is a squared and this is b squared. And a squared is greater than b squared, so we know because it's underneath the y variable, we're dealing with a vertical major axis. So I know it's a vertical major axis, which tells me that the focus and the vertices are going to go up and down. So I'm going to find a few things. I'm going to find the center and start listing those things. So the center is going to be the shift of this guy and this guy. So my x, I set this equal to 0 and solve, so that's going to be 4. And then I do the same for the y, and so that's going to be -3. So that's my center. Now a is going to equal the square root of 25, so that's going to be 5. B is the square root of this, so b is equal to 3. And I can use the formula where a squared minus b squared is equal to c squared. So the trick is I just kind of look at these. I know it's the square terms. I understand the formula. So I just take 25 minus 9. It's opposite of this symbol right here. So when we're finding like any one of these pieces, we know the a squared, b squared, c squared is opposite of the addition symbol between our two terms here. So I'll go ahead and plug those guys in. So I'd get 25 minus 9 is equal to c squared is equal to 16, so c is equal to 4. So the way that this works is I'm going to take the center and I'm going to go ahead and plot it. I am going to move 5 units up and down from the center. I'm going to move 3 units left and right from the center, and for C I'm going to move 4 units up and down, and this is all going to happen from the center. The center is no longer at 0, 0, so we are adding to our center value. So for example, you could just count on the graph, and that might be the easiest thing to do, but if I know the center is at 4, -3, and I want to find the vertex, I know it's shifting up and down by 5 units. So I'm going to take 4, -3, and I'm going to add and subtract 5 units. So that's going to give me 4, and then if I add 5, it's going to be 2, and if I subtract 5, it's going to be -8. So those are going to be my vertices. If I want to find the co-vertices from the center, it's shifting along an x. So I'm going to take the 4 and I'm going to add and subtract 3. So that was B and this was A. And so I'll get my vertices, and then the y doesn't change for my co-vertices. And so that's just going to stay as -3. So my co-vertices are going to be 7, -3 and 1, -3. And so that's the process that I'm going through. And a lot of times it's just easier to plot it on your graph and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and write the center down. The center was 4, -3. So I'm going to go ahead and plot that point. And then I'm going to move 5 units up and down. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 2. So if we notice here, look, we had 4, 2 right here. And that's the location of this point, 4, 2. I'm going to move 5 down 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to plot that point. And if we look, when we did the addition, 4, -8, I plotted the point in the wrong spot. So good thing I double checked. So it doesn't go here. Cross that out. It goes here. A little bit of mistake. It won't let me erase it. Okay? So, you can use basic addition and subtraction and plot the points, or, you can just count. So I know A was equal to 5, I know B was equal to 3, and I know C was equal to 4. So I shifted 5 units up and down. I'm going to shift 3 units left and right, and I'm going to shift 4 units up and down, left and right. Okay, so I'm going to move 3 units left and right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's my co-vertices. Here are my vertices. And then my focal points are going to be 4 units, which is just 1 less than 5. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my focal points. That worked out nice to cover that one up. So this guy right here is a focus, and this guy right here is a focus. And I'm going to go ahead and graph this. And I'm going to connect all the vertices to create my shape. And that is my translated ellipse.